Alright guys, what is going on today? We have a special video. So Jenny is finally going on the dyno tomorrow. So today I'm gonna do a little bit of prep work, just go over everything and make sure everything's, good. I am going to double check on this wheel right here. I saw some axle grease and I wanna make sure that I don't blow an axle on the dyno. I also do plan on bringing this car to the track next week, so I want to make sure that everything is set and we're not gonna break anything. We do think we're gonna get it to push beyond 600 horsepower, but I am gonna turn it right back down just to be safe. I just want to see what it's capable of making. Give her all the beans, you know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and dive into some work on the car. Let's get started. All right, so I'm not sure if you guys can see, but our little boot does have a leak. So I'm gonna see if I can source one right now and take the wheel off, swap it out. But you can see I got axle grease all on the inside of my tire, here, there, tie rod, everything. This is also the side that's kind of making a knocking noise whenever I go over bumps, so I'm not sure. Oh, I can tell this collar hand loose. So I'm gonna go over this side completely and just make sure everything's okay. Double check that side as well, check the fronts, and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, upon closer inspection, there are no tears in my axle boot. It might just be like a little tight on the clamp, because I noticed there's a little bit of liquid coming from right here. But I cleaned everything up. I'm gonna drive the car around, see if anything else leaks out. If not, it should be good. I tightened this collar. I had my spanner wrenches and I tightened that down. This is tight, everything's tight. The only other thing that I found that could be a problem that's making noise is my diff bushing. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get closer. It's starting to deteriorate, and I don't have the fourth diff mount, which I am planning on probably doing because this car is going to need the power, but I don't know. Okay. I'm also going to clean up all of this and see if we can find another leak. Okay, got the wheel back on. Now time to put some 85 in the tank. Smell of 85. Gotta love it. Checked the oil's good, it's clean, it's full. Checked the fuel pressure regulator, made sure that we were still at 43 psi when idling. We checked the turbo wheel, made sure everything was spinning nicely. It's a little wet because of the rain. I drained out my oil catch can, luckily only water. Because of the breather. So besides that, everything else on the car looks good. We cleaned up some of the wiring. I was gonna tackle this, but I don't have enough wire to reroute it all the way over here and make it look neat right now, so I'm gonna do that in a later video. As you can tell, it's late, I'm tired. We're ready to make some power. Let's go do this tomorrow. Cheers. All right guys, what is going on? It is another great day. Today we are at Real Street Performance with Jenny. We're gonna hop on the dyno. We're gonna get a baseline, see how much power we're making currently on 30 psi. Then I'm gonna have Johnny tune in a little bit and see if we can push up the boost and See if we can touch 600. He wants to touch 700, and I'm like, let's not blow our engine. So let's see what we can do with this today, guys. All right, so we got Jenny on the dyno. I'm gonna go ahead and give Johnny a call. He's gonna log in. We're gonna get this thing set up, go over the logs, and get started.
around everybody else. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Go.
He's fucking charging.
How hot does this car run?
Very cold.
Really?
Ready? Is it recording?
Let me check. Bro, that kicked you in your face, bro. Is that the first call you've done?
Yeah.
Bro, it's coming, boost is coming, and then
I told you, it takes forever, bro, but when it hits, holy shit. That little flutter is so sick, I love it.
it's so great. When does the boost usually build?
5,500.
Holy shit, bro. That
The pizza guy was like, oh fuck!
Bro, that shit built up so fast when it hits boost.
It's like nothing, all of it at once.
Oh my god. Alright, ready for the hit?
Yep. It'd be a lot faster if I flat foot shifted, but I'm scared too. This shit rips off.
She ripping.
No, you turn them.
She ripping.
You wanna flip it around? Alright, ready?
Yep.
That was 145. Okay guys, so as you saw in that last clip on the dyno, the car made about 450 wheel horsepower at 42 pounds of boost. Now that might seem like a lot of boost and not a lot of power, and everyone was like, oh yeah, you know, it's because you don't have any sleeve protection, you need a block guard, all that kind of stuff, right? We don't want to push the limits of this car, especially with how much boost we're running. Let me tell you what happened. Okay, so none of it is Johnny's fault or Real Street Performance's fault. And I'm not gonna say whose fault it is. However, on one of our polls a while ago, we ran the car really, really lean. That ended up causing an issue with the motor. Now, we might not have heard anything, we might not have physically seen anything wrong with this motor, and even on the dyno, there's no piston slap, there was no knock, there was no detonation, you couldn't hear anything wrong with the motor, seemed fine, wasn't smoking, none of that. But then I came to the realization a couple days after, I was just like, the mile per hour on the dyno was a lot slower than what a normal fourth gear pull would be in my car, which was, it was like 104 miles per hour in the dyno, and my fourth gear pulls are normally in the 145 range. So it was a little confusing as to why it was so low. And I started doing some digging and asking some people some questions, and nobody could explain why we didn't make as much horsepower as we thought we were going to make. Like at that amount of boost, we should have been in the 600s easily. I had the car just recently compression checked, and it did not look good. The results of the compression test were cylinder 1 had 100 psi, cylinder 2 had 130 psi, cylinder 3 had 138, and cylinder 4 had 120. So cylinder 1 was very low, and cylinder 4 was also slightly low, not too terrible, but also still, you know, definitely nowhere near the 128, 130 that the other two cylinders had. Now this could have been a multitude of things. It could have been the fact that we have bad piston rings. It could be a valve seat. It could be blow by, and we tested a couple different things. So we did a compression, or not only did we do a compression test, but we also did a leak down test. The leak down test told us the air is coming straight from the crankcase because it was coming out through the oil cap. So we had a 45% leak down in cylinder 1. We had a 7% leak down in cylinder 2, 7% in cylinder 3, and I believe it was 12% in cylinder 4. So again, cylinder 1 and cylinder 4 not doing so hot. 4 not as bad as 1, but 45% leak down basically means that we lost our piston rings most likely in cylinder 1. So what does this mean? So what does this mean for Jenny? Sadly, we're going to have to pull this motor out and disassemble it all over again and see what we find. I'm most likely going to be needing new piston rings, which is okay, but I'm also probably going to be doing either CSS work or sleeves on this motor, just to protect it for long run. I'm also probably going to be selling this turbo, going a smaller route, and I believe we're going to be turning Jenny into a drift car. I think that's the next route I want to do with this car. I don't know if drag racing or street racing is really my thing. I really want to get into the drifting community, and this motor and this chassis is a really good starting car for that, but my turbo is just way too big. There's too much lag, so we're going to downsize our turbo. We're going to sleeve the motor or CSS it, new piston rings. We're going to get this thing running amazing. I'm going to have probably 3 different horsepower setups, probably like mid 300s, 400s, and a 500s tune. I'm not sure what turbo I'm going to get yet, probably a 3076R. But yeah, I mean, this motor is not healthy. It doesn't sound like it's unhealthy. It doesn't drive like it's unhealthy. It might be a little stuttery, but I'm not going to drive it anymore until we get all that done. And it's probably going to be a little bit before we get to do that, but I do have some more stuff coming for the car. So don't worry, guys. I will have more content coming while we wait for this thing to get rebuilt. So let me go over just a few more things that we found out while we were going through. So my wastegate was actually like extremely loose. I'll put a clip here to see, so you can see how loose it was. Also, my actuator was stuck on the inside, so we greased it and we tested it. Found out that this isn't a 14-pound spring, it's a 22-pound spring in there. We also found out my blow-off valve was not working. For some reason, this port on the intake manifold is clogged or blocked or something, and we had the blow-off valve running there, which is why in a lot of the clips I'll try to post here, you can hear the car making that noise, which is kind of like the air surging back into the turbo. So we didn't have a functioning blow-off valve. What else did we find? We actually didn't find anything else. We did boost leak test the entire setup, and surprisingly enough, there were no leaks except for at the wastegate, which is the one thing that we were able to fix, along with the blow-off valve actually getting to work now. But now the car actually makes that HKS like squealing noise rather than this doo-doo-doo noise, which is not as cool, but you know, it's still pretty cool. So yeah, so basically to bring it all down to a T, cylinder 1 bad, cylinder 4 possibly getting bad from a previous tune that went lean and probably took those rings out or something. But car still runs, car still drives. I'm probably going to drive it up to English Rob in Tampa and have him rebuild it, just because I don't have that much space to pull a motor, nor can I get machine work done, and he could just do it all for me. And I've already done it twice on my channel now, so I don't think you guys want to see that again. And it'd just be more convenient for me, especially since I'm trying to focus on work. And I don't know if you guys know now, but I'm recently married, so trying to focus on, you know, spending some time with my wife and enjoy that. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to comment, like the video, subscribe down below. Also, merch coming soon. I have the images ready for the t-shirts and hoodies and whatever we plan on doing. I have some good artwork. I'm so excited. I wish I could show you guys, but I can't yet. But it is coming. Website's almost made, and we almost have our LLC completed. So look forward to that, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.